this. If you were healed of something terminal, if you were healed of something chronic pain, things like that, then you come, and honestly, I didn't weed it out a lot. And it was different things like that going on. And finally got him down there, and he started getting him to testify. And I'm sitting there watching this. And I'm telling you, I was not surprised, because we hear different diseases all the time. But I'm amazed literally at how good God is. I did not know one thing I prayed for. I couldn't, if somebody said, what was the disease you prayed for now? I could not have told you. Not one thing, none of it. And yet God healed him. And that night, God got bigger in my sight. Because I realized, you know what? He is not limited to what I know. He can do exceedingly abundantly above all I can think or ask. Amen? Now, if he can do above what I can think, that means that I don't have to always ask somebody what it is to be able to think what it is to ask to believe him to heal. And so he grew in my sight, in my vision at that time. And I started realizing, because what hit me was, even if they told me, I'm not going to do anything different. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm still going to release life, because that's what I have. The Bible doesn't say you have anything but life. Right? He said, if you have Jesus, you have life. So what are you going to give? You're going to give life. So it doesn't matter if they have cancer, it doesn't matter if they have emphysema, it doesn't matter what they have. The answer is the same. And that night is when I realized the problem, the source, does not matter whenever the answer is always going to be the same. And see, if you get a hold of that, God just got bigger in your sight. And hopefully you won't have to wait till you have a situation like that for that to happen. That was only a couple of years ago, maybe 2. I've been ministering for 10, 11 years like this. That's 8 years before God got bigger that way in my sight. And I realized the difference. Don't wait 8 years. See, you got to realize, I'm telling you, I have one regret in my life. I didn't start sooner. That's the only one. The only one. All the others, everything else is great. That's the only one. I didn't start sooner. Now, I was in Havana, Illinois. No, sorry, wrong place. Normal, Illinois. Right near Bloomington. Yeah, they're right there together. And I was at a kind of a traditional church, had done the DHT. They brought in a lady. It was really strange, because I didn't know what happened to her. But when I started talking to her, she was actually in a wheelchair at that point. And I said, well, what's the deal? And she said, well, doctors can't diagnose it. So I stopped her. I said, okay, when did you have your accident? And she looked shocked, like it was a word of knowledge. She said, how'd you know that? I said, I know, I've been doing this long enough. I know when doctors can't diagnose it, and it's been going on, and they can't fix it, and they can't find anything physically wrong, it's spiritual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this spirit. And so she said, oh, okay. So all I did, it was simple. I didn't have to work anything up. I just said, I think at that point I took her by the hands. And I said, in the name of Jesus, spirit of infirmity, I break your power. You leave her now in Jesus' name. That's all right. Let's get up. And I got her up out of the wheelchair. First time she'd walked in 7 years. She gets up, and I start walking with her. Now, at first, she's her legs are wobbly. It's really rough, and she's doing this, and I'm holding on to her. First, I'm holding with her hands, and then I actually put her arms on my arms, and I was trying to make as much contact as I could, because I wanted life to keep going into her. And, if you contact here, it'll still work, but there's a smaller nozzle, right? And the more contact, the more straight transmission there was. And so I was walking back and forth, and I'd turn her around, and she'd turn slow, and we'd walk this way. We were up on a platform, and the place was packed out. It wasn't real big. It was probably that right there, but it was packed out. And these people were all, you couldn't hear us. You could have heard a pin drop. It was so quiet, because everybody's just watching. And I'm going back and forth with her. And finally, as we walk, I have my hands like this, and then I kind of stretch them out to here, and now we're making this contact, and I'm walking. And it's funny, because I started walking, and I said, look at you. I said, you're walking. And she looked down. I said, okay, don't look down too much. Look up here, don't look. Because people always, when they first start walking out of a wheelchair, they always look down. And I'm like, no, your help didn't come from down there. Your help came from up here. Look up. There's nothing down there. If there's something in there to trip you up, I'm going to trip first, because I'm walking first. So let's walk. And I'd start walking, and I said, now look. And I would drop one hand. And the first time I dropped one hand, because she wasn't leaning on it. It was just kind of giving her security. But it was so funny, because when I dropped one hand, she kind of almost fell that way, even though there was no real pressure put on it. And so I put my hand back up and said, look at that. Dropped the other hand. She balanced, dropped. I said, look at you, look, look at you. And she was walking, and at that point she was still kind of wobbly, and her husband was over here behind us. And it was so funny to watch her, because as soon as she realized, I said, look at you, you're walking, she lit up. And then this was, I think, part of the key, because she was already walking, but part of the key was, as soon as she looked up and saw her husband, she was so excited she was walking, she forgot she couldn't run. And she ran to her husband. And they hugged each other, and the kids grabbed her, and it was awesome. And she just got out of herself, and she didn't even think that she couldn't run, and she just ran. And now the amazing thing was, she got down to, people went wild. Because they all knew her. They're all from her, town in her area, and so they knew she hadn't walked in 7 years. And so then everybody said, "Oh yeah, wow, God, you're awesome." And I agreed, and I said, "Okay, here's the thing." I said, "Everybody stop, listen." I said, "Now here is the shame of that." I said, "The shame is any Christian can do what I just did. But she had to wait till I got here. 7 years of her life was wasted because a normal Christian wouldn't go to her and do this." That's the thing. Now, honestly,
okay, so here we are in good old YouTube, and all we need to do, no matter where you are on the platform, as long as you're logged in, is to go up to the top here where it says create a video and all this is good, click on the little plus on the video, and then select go live. So we go to youtube.com/live streaming. So here you can see it asks you for a title. So let's go live stream demo. We want our video to be public so that everyone can see it. Now, to schedule your video, you obviously go to schedule for later. Check that here. So let's put it in for there, and let's go say for 2 p.m. Boom. So we have 2 p.m. So now we can select our category that we want to be put in. So we are always in how to and style. So I'm going to keep that. So now it's asking me which camera I want to use. So I'm just going to use the camera off my laptop, and I can then select my Yeti here. Now we also have advanced settings. So by clicking on that, you are able to allow people to chat on the video, which is exactly what you want. If you have age-restricted content, then you definitely need to check this switch here. And there's more information if you need more about that. And if you have a paid promotion on your video, select this. And again, there's more information here. And this allows you to inform your viewers that you have paid content on your video, etc. And again, more information is there. So now we're set up here. We click on next. So now it wants to take a thumbnail. So there is our thumbnail. So this can obviously be changed. So if we wanted to retake the thumbnail again, we'll just go. There we go. There's our thumbnail. And you can always go back and upload a custom thumbnail afterwards, which is what I recommend. So use a thumbnail that is consistent with your branding and that lets people know that it is a live video. And if you want to edit anything at any point, click on the pencil icon here and you can edit any of these details here. Again, you can go back into advanced, etc. Click on save, you're all done. Now, if you want to share your link to your video, you can click on the share button there. It gives you your URL. You also have the ability to embed the video. So click on embed, click on copy. It will copy all of this information here for you so you can embed this on your website, on a blog, anywhere you would like. You also have the ability to start the video at any point. So if you wanted to go 1 minute into it after you've done your hellos and how you doings, all that sort of stuff, you can do that too. And then it will update the information there for you. Once you're done with that, click here and you're pretty much good to go. So if you want to, at any point, edit your live, so you can schedule a number in the future. So if you want to edit these, go to your live streaming area and click on manage. So this will show you your live streams in the future. You want to edit it, click on the three dots here, so you can edit, you can share it, or you can delete it. So if we want to delete this, click on delete. Hey presto, all gone. And then we can go in and we can start a brand new one from scratch again. And then to set up another one, we simply fill out the information as we've just done. One other thing you can do is when you have it scheduled, go to your live dashboard, and you can also leave a comment on your video before you go live. So I like to tell people to hit the notification button to be notified. So click on live. Done. So we'll have the little comment on our video already. So we can open up our video here. So you can see on the video, we have goes live in 24 hours. We can set the reminder, so we can add our reminder button on there. Here is our comment, so we can invite people to comment on our video before it goes live. So if you're sending an email out to your email list, make sure to get people to ask questions on what they would like, all of that good stuff. Now, as well, one thing we'd also recommend, and this is a bonus little insider trick, is click on edit, add a good keyword-rich description in here, and you can change your thumbnail here as well. You can also update the title of your video, so make sure that this is optimized for the content that you are creating. So good description, have a good thumbnail, good title on there. As we know, YouTube loves live video. So if you have a good keyword-rich title, a good keyword-rich description, and of course, all your tags and stuff in there as well, you're going to have a higher chance of people coming across your videos because YouTube will promote it. So there you go, that's how you quickly and easily set up and schedule your YouTube lives. And as I said earlier, they're a great way for you to connect with your audience, build your YouTube channel, and if you're using YouTube for your business, they're a great way to get leads and customers too. Now, I'd love to know how you're going to use YouTube Lives on your YouTube channel. Let me know in the old comments area below. I'd love to see what you're using them for. And as always, if you've got a question about this or anything else to do with good old YouTubes, make sure to pop that also in ye olde comments below as well. And I'll do the best I can to help you get that question answered. Make sure to like and share this video with somebody who you believe this can help. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the old subscribe link somewhere.
You're British, very British.
So Lift Mobile just sent me this solar wireless battery pack. I'm excited, let's see what's inside.
So recently, YouTube announced that they are on the verge of getting rid of the Classic Creator Studio. And my first impression, kind of a knee-jerk reaction, and what many people may experience is, hey, they can't do that. It's missing a particular feature. In my case, I was worried about being able to schedule live streams. So then I decided, rather than just assume it's not there, maybe it's time that I dig in and find out exactly how to schedule live streams through the new YouTube Studio. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to schedule live stream events using the new YouTube Studio.
YouTube Simplified.
All right, so first thing, we have to go to YouTube, obviously. Then we're going to jump into YouTube Studio. When I first came into YouTube Studio, tried to figure this out intuitively. I went to the side menu over here, and I'm like, there's not really anything over there that says schedule a live stream. So I'm like, okay, well, what do they actually provide to us in terms of live streams? And we have this little icon up here in the right-hand corner. So if we click on the Go Live option, it's going to bring us to this new wizard to set up a live stream. And this is actually where they've consolidated the schedule event functionality. So we'll see here, you have the opportunity to create a title. By default, you're going to get the YouTube upload defaults here. Now, I assume in the near future, we're going to also be able to use the TubeBuddy upload defaults, for which I used for my live stream event, so I can switch it to my TubeBuddy or my TubeBuddy upload default to my live stream version, and it's going to populate all of this info in my description. But for now, I've copied it to just put it in here as well. And my live streams are Q&A. We're going to put that in there as well. And then you'll notice down here, right here, it says schedule for later. When we click that, that gives us the opportunity to pick a date and time for our next live stream. So as you may or may not know, we do live streams on Creator Fundamentals every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So we click on the next Wednesday here, click the 19th, and we're going to set that to our normal 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then you have the opportunity to enable monetization, etc., and determine whether or not your content is made for kids. We'll leave that the way that it is. And then we'll click on Create Stream. Now, this brings us into this interface here, content streaming software to start preview. Okay, so we don't expect that to be showing anything because we're not going to do this one for a while. Then we have the opportunity to select the type of key. Now, I do a reoccurring key that is for my Wednesday live stream, so I will select that, and it pre-fills all that. Obviously, we're going to keep that masked because we don't want that exposed. And then stream latency, we have your normal latency, low latency, ultra low latency. I typically stream at the normal latency. And then we have some other options here that you're going to be able to see and experience in this new interface for your live streams that kind of gives you all the stuff you want to look at on the same screen. And to be perfectly honest, I have not used this particular interface before, but no time like my next live stream to take advantage of this. But it was a very streamlined process. Now, the one thing that does not jump out at me is what it's intending to use as the thumbnail for the live stream that I have just scheduled. Now, we look at the different tabs here. These are things I think that are going to be relevant when we're actually going into the live stream itself. And this is actually a feature that I noticed on another live stream, which I think is kind of cool. You actually have the ability to pick one of your products, and you can actually pin it in the live stream. I've seen it. It actually appears at the top of the chat, which I thought was kind of an interesting feature. But the one thing that does jump out at me, and I'm not sure what their intended resolution for that is. Let's see what we got over here. Live stream settings. We'll click on that. Details, monetization. I think this is just to tweak everything. So allow embedded, video contains promotion, etc. Whether monetization's on and off, and some settings relating to the chat. So that's all pretty straightforward stuff. You got your stream health indicators in here, viewer activity, your analytics, which will be meaningful when you've actually live streamed. But again, nothing in this interface that allows you to set the thumbnail for the actual live stream. So now that this is scheduled, let's go back and see exactly how it displays it to us, or for us, in the interface. So we've got up here, upcoming. So in this case, really interesting, because what it did was pre-fill the thumbnail with my actual channel art, which is typically what it does. But the question is now, how do you go in? If we go on edit title and description, no option for a new thumbnail there. Now, I know another place that we can go to check on the thumbnail, but I'm just curious if they're making it available to us anywhere in here, which I'm not seeing. So now if we go all the way back to Studio and we go to videos and we go on live, we're going to see our scheduled live streams at the top. And if we go in and click edit, I know we're going to have an option to add a thumbnail in here, because this is, of course, where you would normally add a thumbnail, but it does feel like this is a little bit out of sorts. a little bit of a manual process to kind of backtrack to be able to change your thumbnail. So I'm not sure what their plan is there. If I overlooked where you can add the thumbnail while you're actually creating that live stream event in YouTube Studio, definitely let me know in the comments, because I certainly didn't see it. But here we can certainly click on upload thumbnail, and we can go into our content here and find a thumbnail for the actual live stream here. So that will work, this is one we've used in the past. And then click save, and then that's going to pop that up as our thumbnail. But interesting note, they also didn't give you any opportunity to add tags to that scheduled live stream. So it is kind of interesting to see how they've actually given us that functionality. And I don't think everything's quite as streamlined as it could be, but let me know in the comments what you think of this process. It was pretty straightforward. It was really only a couple clicks, because a lot of the stuff you might normally set for your events wasn't really in there, and we kind of had to come back and do it a different way. But I really want to know what you guys think in the comments below. But
Hey, what's up? So today we want to do a quick video on how to live stream a pre-recorded video to YouTube using OBS. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing you want to do is, if you have a YouTube channel, you want to go to, right now I'm in the Creator Studio. So to get there, you can just click your image here and click on Creator Studio, and it will bring me here to this page. Next thing we want to do is, you'll see the options over here, and you want to click on live streaming. And then this will bring you to the live streaming page. So if you want to go stream online now, then you can just use this key here. You can also schedule a stream as well, but we're just going to do the one that's set up here. Change the thumbnail if you want to. I'm just going to use this one, but just click change thumbnail if you want to change the thumbnail. And then you can just change the stream name here as well. So I'll just call it the title of the thumbnail. Cool. And if you want to add any info here in the description, you can as well. I'll just leave this default text here. And then I'm going to leave this category and stuff the same, but you could change it if you want to. I'll just leave it to generic one for now. And I want to make this public because I want to stream public to people. You can definitely make it unlisted or private if you have it embedded somewhere. But I'm just going to leave it public for this. And then you want to come back here. Eventually need to note this because you'll want to use this stream key here once you get set up in OBS. So we're going to hop over to OBS, and I'll drop a link in to the software. It's called Open Broadcast Software, short OBS. Anyway, I'll show you guys how to set up a video and image here. So typically what I do is always have this image set up here first, because that's going to be the first thing they see, and then a video stream. But the image really isn't necessary. If I'm live recording to Facebook, then it's good. But for YouTube, not really necessary because they already have that thumbnail image set up for you. So that's good. So I'll walk you guys through how to set it up though if you want to use another image or something. So we'll just go to, I'll call it test image. Click OK for the scene here. And then we need to add a source. So for the source, if we want to do an image, then you can simply click on image. That name is fine. Click OK. And then we want to go browse, and I'll browse my desktop and say I wanted to use this image here. I'll click open, and then that image is there. You see the red outline on here on the image means that it's within frame. So we're good to go there. The next thing we want to do is we want to add a video source. So we'll click the plus sign again, and then we'll just call it test video and click OK. And then we need to add the video file source. So that needs to be a source that's local on your machine because that's where you're going to stream it from. So let's go down to media source, and then that's fine. I'm going to leave that name the default. Click save, that's fine. And then let's go I want to find a source that's on my desktop. I want to use this here because that's the video pertaining to the thumbnail, and click OK. And then click OK, and then that video is there. And it's playing. One thing you want to do is already set here to the default, but you want to make sure this mic here is muted out because that's your actual mic that's on your computer. So if I was to turn this on, like people can hear you talking. So you definitely want to make sure that that is muted. By default is set here on this one, but if not, then you could just simply click to toggle it on and off. This right here is fine because that's the audio coming from the media source. You definitely want that to be playing. As you guys can see the outline here, the actual video is in frame, so we're good there. And then I will go back here to test image because I want it to be on that image. And also the video is set on the default is set to start from the beginning whenever you switch to it. So that's totally fine. So next thing we want to do is we want to go and we want to set up our actual stream key. So what I talked about earlier is getting that stream key. So click on settings over here and then come over to stream. Change your service to YouTube or YouTube gaming. You know, if you're doing Facebook, you can do that, but we're going to do YouTube for this example. So click on that. I already have my stream key in here. I'm not going to show it because that's my public key, but basically you would just come here, click reveal, copy your key, and then you come back here to OBS and drop that key there and click OK. And then that is it. And whenever we're ready to start streaming, all I have to do simply to start the stream, you go back here, you see we're offline, nothing's on here. But if I wanted to start that stream and just let it play, then I'll make sure that it's on my test image first, click start streaming, and then this should light up green here. So now we're live, and then I can let that go a few seconds, and then I can go over to the video, and we come back here. You see the image comes up first, and then the video should start here in a second to start streaming. There we go. So the video is there, it's playing, it's streaming, it's now live on my page, it's green there. And then that's it. You know, people can join in, they can join in the chat or whatever, and you're good to go. And that's basically it. One thing you want to make sure of, again, just make sure that mic is muted, and then you just want to make sure that when the actual video is over, that you come here and just stop the streaming, and then that's it. So if I stop this stream here, it's a slight delay, but it should here in a second, we should see the stream stop. There we go. So it says the stream is complete, and then that's it. So that's how you live stream a pre-recorded video to YouTube using OBS. And I'll drop if you don't already have
So you want to start live streaming, but your internet connection is really bad and it won't really sustain something like a live stream. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get around that by live streaming a pre-recorded video. If folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So I get this question a lot. AJ, we want to live stream, but where our church is, we have very bad internet and it doesn't keep up to the speed that's really required to have a good quality live stream type of experience. What is your suggestion? So what I've suggested, which I've done many a times myself for when I'm in areas to where I can't live stream games, is to just record it and then play it back through OBS or whatever software you decide to use as a pre-recorded live stream. It really doesn't hurt. Really, anybody's not going to notice it because you're still offering the same content. It's just not going to be live. And just realize it's about getting whatever message that you're trying to get out. And it's really simple to do. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer and I'll show you just how simple it is to do. All right, so I am here on our live streaming system, and this is very, very simple. So we have our normal starting service soon. As you see here, we have our stream, and I'm here at the church, so the camera is on. So this would normally be capturing live, offering, be right back, and then ending. All we're gonna do is add a new scene in here, and we'll just call this pre-recorded. And we're gonna, let's move it up here. And we're just gonna add it's just not going to be live. And just realize it's about getting whatever message that you're trying to get out. And it's really simple to do. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer and I'll show you just how simple it is to do. All right, so I am here on our live streaming system, and this is very, very simple. So we have our normal starting service soon. As you see here, we have our stream, and I'm here at the church, so the camera is on. So this would normally be capturing live, offering, be right back, and then ending. All we're gonna do is add a new scene in here, and we'll just call this pre-recorded. And we're gonna, let's move it up here. And we're just gonna add a new media source. And we'll just say, previous service, let's call it that. All right, now I'm gonna select this as a local file because this is saved on a computer somewhere. I can use hardware decoding if I want to. Show nothing when this ends, that's fine. And we don't want it to loop, but we do want it to restart anytime it goes back to that scene, because the idea is you're only going to hit that scene once. All right, so let me find a video here that's on our network here that I can use as an example of a previous.
He's a miracle worker.